Here we are, Mike. We're here to talk about how to bring in $100,000 in the next year with this very unique and simple Amazon business model, which we're going to get into in just a second. But first of all, Mike, 100,000 a year. We'll talk. We can talk revenue or profits. We'll talk revenue for now, just to kind of make it simpler. Impossible or possible? What do you think?
Definitely possible. And in this video today, we're going to break down exactly what type of business model can get you there, as well as break down the numbers just so you can understand exactly what that looks like and the steps that you could actually take today to get toward that $100,000 for this next year for yourself.
I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to share up Mike's screen. We're going to take a look at the business model.
All right, so on my screen here, I just buzzed over to Amazon.com. And so for this, we'll take a look at one of the products that we could actually sell under this business model. And so we're coming up to the Q4 area here. So I want to just look at Barbies because as we know, Barbie toys are a very popular item in the holidays, very, very giftable. So let's take a look at a Barbie and I want to show you guys exactly how we could sell these Barbie dolls for ourselves on Amazon and just how much money we can actually make doing that. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab one of the Barbie items that I see here on the screen, and I'm going to show you a couple different things that are really important to know and to consider. And so first thing we see here is a Barbie Dreamtopia mermaid doll. So a lot of children would probably love a doll like this. Again, a very giftable item. And so a couple really important things that we see here on the screen. I want to draw your attention just to the right side here, right? And so this is what we call the buy box. So the buy box is this box on the right-hand screen where a customer can come and they can actually add an item to the cart, or they can choose to buy now. And so this entire business model is centered around the fact that we are able to source these items for ourselves. We're able to send them into Amazon, and ultimately we're able to take a share of what's called the buy box, right? So as we can see right now, this one says ships from Amazon.com and sold by Amazon.com. So this is actually being sold by Amazon themselves. But as a third party seller, we could actually have our name. I could have Mike's storefront actually sold by in this section. And then every single time that someone clicks add to cart or buy now, I would actually get attributed for the sale. So that's the really powerful thing of this business model is the ability to take the items that are already on Amazon. We're going to go out and we're going to source them from wholesale style suppliers, meaning that we get a discounted price. And then we're able to list them and resell them on Amazon's platform and take advantage of all of the existing traffic and of all of the information that's already available for us to take a look at. How
And
does
that's
that
the
sound
thing.
as a business model?
It's great. And by the way, as Mike mentioned, just because we didn't give it its full title yet, this is the wholesale business model. Mike said that we're going to go out and find wholesale suppliers. And don't worry, we're going to get to the process in just a couple of minutes. But we are talking about $100,000 a year in revenue. Now, if you're watching this video and you're a complete beginner, number one, do give it a like. But secondly, if you are a complete beginner, you're probably thinking, well, how could this operate for me? I've never had a business before. That sounds like an unreachable target. So what I'm going to do is share my screen now and break down for you kind of how fast you can get to this kind of revenue level. All right. So not an income promise or anything like that, but let me show you how it works. Okay, so Mike, we created this a little while ago, and it's really designed to show you what the opportunity looks like with this business. So what I'm going to do is take supplier number, product number first of all. So let's just imagine you can have three suppliers, and we're going to show you how to find them in just a second. But let's just say you find three suppliers located in the country you want to sell in. So let's say it's Amazon.com, which is obviously the US, and you're going to find US based suppliers. That's another big benefit of the business model here. We're not going to China. We're not importing stuff. And not like we love that business model. But for a lot of people starting out, that just can feel a little bit scary, especially if you're on a budget. So, anyway, three domestic US suppliers just for this example. Now, let's imagine that on average, you're ordering 8 items from each of these suppliers. which really is not an unreachable target. That's kind of a standard enough number you can reach for sure. I mean, some suppliers have hundreds of items that you can potentially be selling, but let's just keep it at 8 for now. All right. Now, average profit per product. So every time you make a sale on Amazon and they're going to ship it out on your behalf, let's just say you're making $3. You could be making more, you could be making less. It all depends on the sales price of the product and, of course, the size of it as well. That's going to determine how much it's going to cost to ship it out from Amazon and ship it to Amazon and stuff like that. But let's just keep it simple today. Let's just imagine on average, you're making 3 sales. Now, look at this. This is an annual revenue of $500,000, a lot more than 100,000. And that's with 3 suppliers selling 8 different products. You're making 3 sales a day on average of each item. You're making $3 every time you make a sale. So let's just move this down. Let's just move it right down to 1 supplier. There's 172,000, right? Let's move it down here to 5 products. So there you go. That's 108,000. Now, the thing about it is with this business model, you're making about 15 to 20% ish as your profit margin. So obviously, that's why the monthly profit here is $1,350 on $108,000. We're being conservative in our calculations because we don't want you to get the wrong end of the stick here. But it's important to mention that this is the entry point level. All right. You could be making more than $1,350 at this revenue level, but this is just a $9,000 per month, which is totally doable. We've got people who actually are in working with us, learning from us now, and they're already hitting this revenue level within just a couple of months. So really not that difficult. But I would say, Mike, this kind of 3 supplier level, 5 products, this kind of range here is so doable for everybody. And that's $4,000 every single month in your pocket, not in revenue, actually. But that's an annual revenue of $324,000, which is so doable, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, we talk about very often with our students how we go out and how we actually find these suppliers, how we're actually sourcing the different products, and ultimately the method that goes into that. And it's amazing to see how many different students are picking it up and just running with it. We've seen dozens and dozens of students that have come forward and showed numbers very similar to what we just discovered on that calculator. And so no matter who you are, what background you have, and where you come from, it's a completely doable business model. And we've been able to replicate those results again and again and again with our students.
Absolutely. And I'll actually just tell you really quickly, if you're enjoying this video so far, we've already asked you for a couple of likes, but if you want to check out some more in-depth training that we put together for you, go down to the description right now, check it out. There's a great free training in there for you. It's not going to waste your time. It's going to show you the 6 steps to get this business up and running. So do check that out right now. And I'm going to keep going. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is, how does Amazon ship stuff out, right? You might have heard of FBA before, but I just want to show you really quickly where you can go right now just to get more information on FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon itself. Okay, so I'm on Amazon.com. We've got our Beverly Hills address in here, Mike. You and I love living there. We have separate houses, of course, in Beverly Hills, but I'm joking. So when we scroll down here anyway, we can come right to the end, and there's an area here called Make Money with Us. You can go to sell products on Amazon. It's going to be the best place to go to learn about FBA. And when you click in here, there's a lot of different options, but you can go to grow and click fulfillment by Amazon. Now, obviously you can go in here and learn more about your Amazon seller account, but I would just say to you, you can certainly read about this. I just wouldn't sign up for a seller account until you know exactly what you're doing, because there are certain things you're going to need to get your seller account set up that we'll talk about another time. But right here, if we actually go to Fulfillment by Amazon, we can see a lot of information about exactly what it is. There's a video about how it works. But ultimately, Amazon are going to pick, pack, and ship your orders. Now, if you've already heard about this, totally cool. You know what this is about. But as you scroll down, it'll just tell you more information about exactly what to do. And the really nice thing about the business model we're talking about today, this wholesale business model, is that you're not going to have to create product listings. That's already going to be done. They're already going to be on the Amazon platform, which is really, really nice. So all you're really going to be doing is sending a small amount of units into Amazon. They're going to get stored in Amazon, and you're going to be able to sell those products just like everybody else and make money like we just talked about. Now, what I want to do is I want to get Mike to jump over and bring us through a very quick version of the process as to how this business model actually works, how you could find an item. This is not by any means like the full, complete, like everything you need to know inside 20 minutes, because that's a lot of nonsense. But it's enough for you to understand how the business model works and whether or not this is something you want to learn in more detail. So I'll pass it over to Mike.
All right, so here on my screen, I pulled up one of my favorite websites for actually finding wholesale suppliers. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start by finding a supplier, and we're going to let our suppliers tell us what items they actually have available. And so we're going to stick with the topic, with the category that we were in earlier. So I'm just going to click over to toys and hobbies. So in toys and hobbies, this website, Wholesale Central, actually compiles a list of all of the top suppliers that actually offer products in the different categories. So as you come through, they have some featured sellers. They probably paid for some advertising, something like that. So I'm going to skip over that, but we're going to look at a couple different suppliers in here. And they've literally done the work for us of putting together a bunch of different suppliers that could potentially offer us high quality products for our Amazon wholesale business. And so I'm going to come through and I'm just going to grab one that piques my interest. We're going to open it. We're going to take a very quick look to see if this company might be a good fit for us. So basically, we're just coming to the Wholesale Central page for this company. A lot of really good things that I'm seeing here. They have a very professional looking address. It shows where they're located, right? They're located in the US. We like to do this business model on Amazon.com as it's the largest marketplace current state for Amazon. We also see that they are a wholesale distribution and procurement company. All very good things. They even talk about if you sell in Amazon, you are in luck and they will ship to FBA for you, right? So this could be an amazing opportunity to find a number of different products. And then as we can see scrolling down, some of the different items that they offer, they have, video games, they have toys, they have tools, and these are all branded items as we can see from the titles. So this is one really good source for potentially getting some good products from our store. So essentially what we would do here, again, I'm not going to go in depth every single step that you need, but what we would do is we would go ahead and we would contact this national procurement professionals. We would open up an account with them. From there, they would give us a list of all the different products that they offer. And then we would go and we would analyze those products to see if they would be a good fit for our business. If they are, we purchase them, send them into FBA, and then Amazon's customers will purchase those from us and we make the profit off of that.
Love that. And actually, I think as well, something that's important, Mike, that we'll talk about here is the fact that, we have this buy box that we mentioned, and some people watch videos like this and they think, oh, but like, if people keep making it less expensive or whatever, am I going to be able to get access to it? What if Amazon are selling it and all of that? I suppose at a very simple level, the thing you got to understand watching this video today is that there's criteria that we go into in our deeper training that really helps in a big way. But at a very basic level, just to say, as long as you're using FBA and you're matching the lowest price on Amazon, you're going to have a really good shot of getting access to the buy box. Now, in some cases, if you've got like 2 units or whatever in stock, okay, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because Amazon are like, you've got nothing to sell. So we're going to sell out very quick. You're going to sell too quickly. But at a base level, what Amazon do is they keep changing sellers in and out of the buy box all day long because that's how their business model works. So they give it a fair share to a number of different sellers in there. But it looks like, Mike, you want us to show us something else. So I'm going to flip over to your screen now and we'll take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the products that I decided to pull up here is just a Polly Pocket little toy. Again, sticking with that same theme, I actually saw that supplier we looked at had some Polly Pocket items. So I thought that I would dive in a little bit deeper. And so one very interesting thing that changed from the last product that we looked at, we see that it ships from Amazon, meaning that it's FBA, but it's sold by this other third-party seller, right? Mojave or Mohave River Trading. And so this is a third-party seller, just like myself, just like Steven, that actually purchased this product, sent it into FBA. And if as a customer right now, I clicked add to cart or buy now, they would actually get tributed that sale. right? So this just goes to show the business model that we're doing is already happening. It's already in play, and people are actually profiting off of it right here, right now. And so that's really important to understand is we're able to leverage what other people have done in creating the listings and these very popular brands led by big companies. We're able to source the items ourselves, and then we're able to actually come here and compete and take a portion of those sales for ourselves. And to speak to what Stephen was talking about earlier with the pricing and those types of things, any serious seller who is going to be on this platform long term, which is going to be the majority of sellers out there, understand that everyone's in here to make a profit. Everybody would rather make more money versus less money. So a little bit of healthy competition is absolutely normal, and it's actually part of the game. We actually want to see that so we know that a product does sell well and that
Yeah.
we have an opportunity ourselves to actually sell that, right, Stephen?
Yeah, exactly. And what's really important here, everybody, if you look at that, whatever they're called, Mojave trading, whatever the hell they're called, the thing about it is that they're getting instant traffic, right? And the way that works is because if you think about it, right, people are on the internet right now. Mike here, for example, is searching Polly Pocket on Amazon because he really wants to buy some. I don't know why, but I don't know why, Mike. You can tell people later on why you want to do that. But no, people are on there, right? They're looking for Christmas presents or whatever the case may be at the time of year that we're in right now. And so they're searching these products and they're going, oh, yeah, this Polly Pocket Rainbow Funland, whatever. It's been advertised on TV. It's a well known product. They're clicking in, right? So you or I did not create that traffic. That traffic's already there and it's being diverted to this listing. But what's happening is because we have it in stock in Amazon, and when we get access to the buy box, like we talked about, by matching that lowest price, we're effectively getting instant traffic to this, right? And that's just something that's really a massive benefit of the model because, again, we love private label. We teach private label, and it's something we've made millions doing. But the thing about it is that you've got to establish all these things. You got to build that up over time. Whereas here, we're literally going, oh, yeah, we can get this Polly Pocket product. Fantastic. Send some into Amazon. And boom, we're in business. So it's such a fast way to get success with the platform, and that's what excites me so much about it. And it's not like speed is everything, right? And if something takes a little longer, it's no good. No, like I mean, as a matter of fact, if we owned Polly Pocket, right, which maybe Mike and I'll make an offer for it one day, we'd make a lot more money because it's our product, we're importing it and all of that. We're going to make a higher margin. But hey, what I like about this is you only have to order a small quantity of these things. You're going to get instant traffic as long as you're getting access to that buy box, and Amazon are doing all the shipping for you. So it's so simple. It's so good. And again, if you want to hear more in-depth training, check down the description right now. But anyway, Mike, back to you, sir. Let's keep it going here.
Yeah, so one more important thing we can actually see if we scroll down, I have a number of different tools that I use throughout this business model, and we can actually have a little bit of a look of all the different sellers that are going to be on this listing. And we can actually see if we go in here and take a look at what they call the buy box statistics, we can see the different sellers and we can even see the percentage of time that they are winning that buy box. So this actually shows us the data to say that people are winning that buy box. They are sharing those sales. And here's the breakdown, right? This excess limited over the past 30 days has won the buy box 37% of the time. So we can see this Mojave River Trading Co. only wins 6% of the time, but they're actually winning right now if I were to go purchase this item. So this really shows us, gives us a good understanding of who's selling on the listing, how much they're selling, how long that they're selling for. So we can be more confident going into this, and we can really eliminate a lot of the risk of going into this business model of purchasing products and knowing that we're going to make profit off of it and knowing how many sales that we can actually make with it as well.
Exactly. And the nice thing is, everybody, you can see the price point, the average price point that they're selling at as well. So when you get that information from your supplier, like we briefly talked about, you're going to see how much your cost price is going to be, etc. So you're going to be able to calculate where you are here. And again, we can look at that in a second and talk more about it. But it's really, really cool. Mike's going to now blow our mind with the next piece here, which is great. And by the way, that's a Keepa tool we used a second ago, just to mention, because I know a lot of you guys like to know what these tools are. There was Keepa there, and yeah, it's Probably that's good for now, Mike, right?
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, guys, if you think we're doing a good job, if this all makes sense and you guys are understanding how this could work for you, just hop down in the comment section very quick for us and just type a hashtag me. If
Love
that's
it.
you, you understand how this works and it's making sense to you right now. So next thing I
Perfect.
want to show you here is just the estimated monthly sales. So we have some different tools. This is just one of the tools. We can talk about it a little bit later on, but it just shows you the average monthly unit sold, 165 units. So by this, we can actually see that the overall listing, just this one single little Polly Pocket item, actually sells 165 times every single month, meaning this sells, probably about 1,800 units throughout the entire year of just one single item. So even if we could capture that 6 or 10% of these sales, we can send in a small amount of units into FBA. We would actually get a share of that buy box. We take a share of the 165 sales per month. And then the way that this business model works at the end of the day is, as we saw with Steven's calculator, we just compound the number of products, we compound the number of suppliers, and by selling a large variety of different items, we're able to very quickly work our way towards that 100K per year mark and create a nice business that can do a lot of different things for us, no matter what our goals might be.
I love that. And this is great, this is not like a product that we would like jump up and down about or anything like that. But again, it's just you can see now that you can understand some numbers, you can get some data ahead of time, which is really, really useful. And something I'll just want to draw your attention to, everybody, is let me just take over the screen for 1 sec, Mike. Okay, so if we take 100,000 and we divide 365 into that, so obviously there's 365 days in a year. That means we're at $274 a day in revenue is going to be where we get to $100,000 a year. And so when you break it down that way and you start dividing that into the number of suppliers and the number of products, really you can see it's just a matter of getting a handful of suppliers together, a handful of products. You're going to hit that level. And like we talked about with our calculator earlier on, really $100,000 in this business model is like the starting point, because yeah, you'll make some money doing that. You will make some profits. You'll make, a decent amount every day. But really where I would like you to be watching this video today is in, the $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 per month profit range. That doesn't happen overnight, as I'm sure you can appreciate, but you can absolutely achieve it. And the really cool thing is all the information is out there for you. You just need to know how to do it, how to put it together, and you can be successful.
So we've been over how we find suppliers. We've been over how we actually get those products. We've been over that we can send them in and we can do them FBA. We've also been over how we can multiply that and how we can make that into a business. But let's talk a little bit about what we need to do to get started. Let's talk about the kind of mindset that we want to be in. And let's talk about kind of the market conditions right now as well. So what's your outlook right now, Steven, on the way that the economy is going, the type of mindset that you need to be in to get into this business, and what are some steps that we can take today to actually get started with this business model?
Yeah. So first things first, like I've been in this business now for, wow, 12 years now at the time of recording, which is crazy. And I've seen a lot of different things happen in the economy. But one thing that I've seen consistently is Amazon's sales increase every single year. And it really doesn't matter what happens in the economy over the next little while. Amazon's going to continue to sell and continue to sell a lot. And you can go online and we can certainly pull it up, even looking at Statista and places like that. And you're just going to see like Amazon's revenue base year on year is continuing to grow. So we're in a really good like selling on a platform like this and being successful. I think in terms of mindset as well, a lot of people right now freak themselves out, right? They're like, oh my God, the world is coming to an end or whatever, which it really isn't. So don't panic. It's just simply like if you actually, I can put this up on screen right now, actually. So again, like this is the net revenue of Amazon from 2007 to second quarter 22. And again, you can just see like it's just growing year on year all of the time. Now those little spikes as well that you're seeing, that's actually Q4, quarter four. It's the end of the year. And at the time of recording, that's the time of year that we're coming into right now. So while some people might say, the economy is going to come down a little bit over the next little while, we're still going to get a Q4 spike no matter what happens. Amazon's still going to sell more than it sold in 2021. Most likely, I'd be very surprised if there was any result other than that. But just to say, if you're getting into a business like this, you couldn't be getting involved with a better platform, because if you have your own website or whatever, that can be unpredictable, right? You may or may not be able to get traffic to that website. Whereas the beautiful thing about this business model, and what I love about it, Mike, is the fact that we essentially can follow the trends. We can follow what's doing well right now, because Mike, we wouldn't sell something that is just not selling. So no matter what happens in the economy, we will continue to follow the trends. We're going to sell what's selling. And the good news is there's 350 million items on Amazon. So there's plenty of opportunity for everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's an amazing point, is no matter where the economy goes, no matter what happens out in the world, people are still going to need essentials. People are going to need the things that gets them through their days, all the things that they use in their everyday households. Those are being purchased. And guess what? Those are items that we can sell on Amazon. So we saw that Amazon is growing quarter over quarter. Every single Q4, there's another massive spike. This year in 2022 for Q4, they're projected to do over $150 billion in revenue, which is a crazy number to think about. So if we can even just take a small fraction of a percentage of those sales, we have a very, very large business, and hopefully profitable business, that we can use to our advantage. So no matter what happens out in the world, we can know that we're working with one of the largest companies in the world, and we're leveraging their platform, and we're actually able to sell items to customers that are buying no matter the conditions, right? They're buying the everyday essential household items. They're still going to be buying toys for their children. They're going to be buying the grocery pantry essentials. Those are all the types of things that we're actually selling on Amazon. So there's actually a lot of certainty and very low risk in the business model we do, and the products that we're actually selling, right, Steven?
Yeah, and something else to remember as a great point is we're only ordering a small quantity of multiple items from a supplier. So the supplier we looked at in this video today, we're not ordering thousands of units of one item. We're ordering a handful, maybe a box of something we test it out. And in some cases, a supplier might want us to order more, might have a bigger minimum order quantity for a particular product. But in many cases, as long as we're hitting their minimum order value, which can be $500, $1,000, whatever the case may be. Actually, we had a member just yesterday say a supplier said over a year it would be $3,000 or something like that. Which when you divide it down into a few orders, it's very, very achievable. They're not expecting you to do $3,000 right away. It really is low risk because of that. You're selling something you know it's going to sell. You can see how many units, roughly speaking, are selling. You can see that you can get access to that buy box. So it's very simple. But so one last thing I want to put in front of you today is I just want to let you know about something. All right. So this is a page that we've created where you can get completely free training, where we do break down a little bit more about the business model, a little bit more about getting started in 60 to 90 days, how this works. And as well, we've got a lot of results from our community as well. So I highly recommend you jump down right now to the description and check out the training. It's completely free. It's high value. There's 6 specific steps in here that teach you how to get this going. And I promise you, you watch it, you're not going to come away saying that was a waste of time. You're going to come away saying that was awesome. So that said, 100,000 a year. I hope you enjoyed our breakdown today. Do give us a like down below and a comment and check out our training. And Mike, I'm going to give you the last word. You're our resident wholesale hero here. Let's wrap this one up with a strong point here.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I just want to say, guys, thanks for sticking all the way to the end. This was a high value, long video, but I really enjoyed engaging with all of you guys. Make sure that you're sending those comments down below that we asked for before, as well as hit that like button if you haven't already. And also make sure that you're subscribed, because we're going to continue to keep coming with those high value videos. So I appreciate every single one of you. I look forward to seeing you guys and you seeing this beautiful face a little bit more down in that training. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. So take care for now, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Awesome. Hashtag Polly Pocket.